When do you think you'll be fit?
Well, I've lived maybe the best and the worst part of my career, the injury and with the Ballon d'Or. I think my body wanted to stop. And I think it was the best decision so far in my career to come here. And you came into a team that has to win and win and win and win.
Do you think he's the best?
Yeah, of course.
What did you make of Real Madrid kind of snubbing the event? We thought it was a little bit pathetic. Oh, he's there. He's there.
He's here.
Yeah. There he is.
Rodri! ¿Cómo está? Oh, Italiano. Okay.
Just a ball.
Just a ball. Can I hold it, please? Can I hold it?
What, for the whole
Wow. He's even got you there. Rodri.
They were saying what we should put. They didn't ask me. I was like, Rodrigo
really?
Hernandez Cascante, he couldn't.
He couldn't fit.
They don't put it.
thing? Yeah. I got close once.
He got second once.
You got second.
Robbed.
Who won it?
Someone you've never heard of.
Yeah.
Igor Belanov.
Better enough.
Yeah.
Bad enough.
Didn't hear.
Now it can fuck off. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, a very warm welcome or bienvenido a Rodrigo Hernandez Cascante.
Good pronunciation, huh?
Thank you very
In
much. I've been
Spanish.
practicing all day because it's not easy for the English tongue. To
Why
wrap
are
it
you
around.
showing off?
I'm not showing off.
Did you play in Spain at some
I
point?
might have done, but before he was born. In fact, which takes us to another thing. You were born on June the 22nd, 1996. Do you know what else happened that day?
No.
No? Something quite significant. England played Spain in the European Championship and England won on penalties on that very day.
And what the stage?
I think it was last 16, wasn't it? Or was it
Last 16.
quarterfinals?
Quarters.
I think it's quarterfinals, actually. Yeah, it was. So there you go. What a coincidence. And now you come, 28 years later, you end up beating England in the European
final.
Championship final.
Good story, yeah. Special, yeah, for me, for my country, of course. How all the last month, how it's been for me, for my family, what it means this to my country, the European champions also. Yeah, and I say always, right now I've lived maybe the best and the worst part of my career with the injury and after with the Ballon d'Or. So yeah, it's kind of a lot of oxygen for me, to come back as stronger and to have a mentality to come back in a good way.
Yeah. Before we talk about the Ballon d'Or and your successes, how are you? How's the knee? How's it
I'm
going?
fine. I'm doing much better than I thought. To be honest, I think in terms of the mental. I think my body wanted to stop, of course not in that way, but I'm kind of enjoying the rest, if it's possible to say it that way.
Well, it's funny because just before it happened, you were talking quite openly about the duresses and the amount of football that footballers were playing.
Yeah, it's well, maybe it came big in that moment when they asked me or they asked a few players about it. I think we all agree with that is something they have to take it, but not comment anymore. You all know my opinion about that. But yeah, it's part of life and the sport, and normally all footballers, they have injuries, and in my situation, well, it's a big injury, but...
Did you know straight away when you did it? Did you think?
No, not to be honest. No, because, well, you never know the feeling. That's first of all. But my feeling was like... I didn't feel like a crack. I feel like something came in and out. And the knee was very stable after, so I was confident. But it was, I take it in the sense that recover always, positive mentality to go straight, and that's it.
How do you deal with it day to day? The ups and downs of the injury?
First month and a half has been quite bad, to be honest, in terms of pain, and I cannot walk because I have the meniscus. You cannot walk, and it's been tough. But now it seems to be more easier.
When do you think you'll be fit? What's the target?
My target is to come back this season. I think in terms of my mentality, is gonna be positive for me to don't give up the season and throw it. Try to when I'm able. I don't want to run. I don't want to make mistakes. But yeah, that's my mentality. I don't know when. In my target is 6-7 months. But the experts, they will dictate.
Well, we wish you well with that. Let's talk about
Thank you.
winning the Ballon d'Or now. Because having played in Spain myself for a short period many years ago, it is something that is very important in Spain. And now it's become very important in this country. We used to kind of ignore it.
Really?
Yeah, genuinely.
Yeah.
Until probably, 10, 15 years ago. And then we started to get more and more interested in it. Now it's become a big thing here as well. But it was always a big thing in Spain. Describe your emotions at winning it.
Think about the fact that in all our history, we just have one. We had one only, and it was Luis Suarez back in the 60s. In terms of Spain, like we don't remember, and we have one of the best periods of all time. We have one of the best leagues. To represent my country winning a Ballon D'Or, it means I cannot explain. I said my family, I think when I retire, I will really value what I did. Honestly, right now, I don't have the dimension because I see the names out there that won it, and I said it, in my generation, I only saw two guys winning this kind of trophy. So it's even more far for us to kind of dream of this, And once you have it, it's crazy. I mean, I don't have words to describe it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we genuinely think you deserved it. We talked about
fully
it.
Deserved.
Fully deserved, wasn't it?
Yeah, it
Absolutely.
was.
What did you make of the Real Madrid kind of snubbing the event and stuff? We thought we went on record as saying we thought it was churlish and a little bit pathetic and disrespectful. Did you?
It's the decision of individuals or clubs in general to decide what to do. I cannot respect the decision. I always said I wouldn't do it in the same way. In sport and in life, it's important to win, but I think even more to how to lose. And I say always the same. It was my moment. I didn't want to speak about others. They didn't want to be there. I want to be with my club, with my family, the people that were there and clapped me, and that was a fantastic moment. Yeah.
You've enjoyed an extraordinary career. Obviously, you grew up in Spain. You learnt the style of football that Spain play, and then eventually you came to England. And that's a big contrast. The style of football that's played in Spain is played in England.
It is.
Did you come to Manchester City because you wanted to try English football, or was it the draw of Pep Guardiola?
Both, many things. To be honest, when I started my debut in Spain, Villarreal, I never expect to play in England. To be fair, we were in Spain, and you expect to finish your career there, and then kind of appear like a feeling of wow, English football, Premier League. I always watch it, always feel the great players out there. Could be a good step, and from no doubts, I make the decision. I think was the best decision so far in my career to come here. So glad.
But what's the main difference between La Liga and the Premier League?
The one that has changed more is the Premier League. To be fair, I think it changed a lot the last 7-8 years. It grew a lot.
Because of Pep Guardiola?
Because of Pep, because of Klopp, many other coaches that had raised the level of this league. Sorry. But I think difference. I think in terms of the speed of the game, the verticality. Maybe we play less tactic in here. I play in a tactic team, but in general less tactic. The league, the atmosphere is different, but it's very particular because when you go to and play Spain, we've seen not many English players doing the opposite way.
Correct, yeah.
But you have to know how to play in each league. It's not the same. And when you go to Spain, I think you have to slow down, and it's not good if you go everywhere and run. And here is the opposite. If you are too slow or you're too passive, it's not good.
How did you alter your game when you arrived here?
It was a kind of a lesson of every day to adapt. You start knowing your team, then the opponents, and the atmospheres of the stadiums, and when you go to Anfield, what is to play in Anfield or what is to play in Old Trafford, and you never experienced it, and always the first is the tough one. But I always believe in me. Try to, step by step, and I was pleased, in that moment.
The football IQ that you show and sets you apart from the rest of the football is you're always in the right position. You always make the right pass. You're always available to receive the pass. And putting them all together, when I'm watching, I'm like, nobody can get near you. How have you managed to do that?
Well, it's something you learn. I think I agree with you. The first year when I came here, maybe it's the best upgrade I've been is not maybe jump, to be attracted of the ball, because I realized that if we press high, but if I go high and then they go through to me, we have to run 70 meters, And so I start learning where to be important in this team, surround of great and top level players. I think the most important thing is to know where you have or where you can be important. We all have quality players, talent players, defensively players, attackers, but maybe that role was the key one, to find out. So yeah, I agree with you. I learned a lot in that sense, and with Pep, with now Juanma, they kind of teach me like, go and come back, never lose the middle, because the middle at the end is the one that most of the goals came, in that area.
I saw a quote from Ilkay Gundogan, who was talking about you, and he said when you first came for the first year or two, you used to stay behind for extra training, but not for training, but to talk about the game.
Yeah.
Is that the case? And
yeah, with the manager, and
I was going to ask you who was that with, because he didn't say who it was. He just said, and you used to do that pretty much every day.
Yeah, I think it's by the years you don't need that anymore in that grade. It's something when you start, and once you got it, okay, let's move to the next level. But yeah, I remember my first year. It was a massive change for me in terms of style, in terms of the league, everything. And you came into a team that has to win and win and win and win. So it's not just a matter of you have to do it well. You have to do it well and fit to win. And yeah, it's a process. It's always a process.
Was it an advantage having a coach that played as a pivot himself?
And not also only with Pep, with Simeone, and I have many others that have been midfielders. I don't know why. I think maybe because the midfielders are the best coaches, maybe.
Well, it seems so. Look now.
It looks,
Pep, Xabi Alonso.
Yeah.
There's quite a few.
I always say the other ones that has to control everything. So normally they have more understanding of the game, let's say. That
more intelligence than, say, a fullback, for example.
Excuse you?
Normally.
Normally.
No with me, guys. But yeah, I agree with you.
I also saw that you watch every game back, the full 90 minutes.
Yeah, I have that habit to watch my game.
Why do you do that?
To analyze myself. I think you don't... What happened to me, I don't have the same feeling when I finish a game than when I see it. I don't have the same feeling. Never in my life. I remember when I started growing in the academy, and sometimes I thought I played bad, and my surroundings say you play amazing, and the opposite. I thought I play unbelievable, and they said no, today you weren't good. And when you start watching yourself, the spaces for everything, you can analyze better.
And talking about the pivots, why do you think Spain, in particular, I think, has produced that kind of player in the last decade or so? You can mention Pep Guardiola, but there's Busquets and Xabi Alonso and your good self. Why do you think Spain seems to have that more cerebral approach to football?
I think it's because the basis, the way you start growing, they start teaching you football. And in my case, in my example, let's say, they teach you that football is collectively, that the ball goes faster when you pass it than when you run with it, and everything goes to the pass, everything goes to the far, even more for the midfielders. And it's the culture, I think. If you go to Italy, maybe they teach them to defend better. Maybe you go to England, maybe to have more power, strength, long balls, second ball.
But what would a typical session be, if you're coming through the youth and you say you're a holding midfielder? What sort of drills would you be doing?
We always start with boxes. We start with possessions. I don't remember doing much stuff in the gym or being physical. Everyone was through the ball from a very early age, and they prefer the team playing good than saying, oh, that player is unbelievable, like individual. So, and this is always step by step.
Let's take you back in your career a little bit. Atletico let you go, didn't they? Because they didn't feel you were physical enough? I mean...
Yeah,
6'3" and
yeah, but it wasn't that case in that time. I was 16. I have a late growth. You say it like that way. I have a late growth in terms of power and height. And it was 50-50. Yes, they didn't believe in me in that sense. And
Did you still believe in yourself at that stage?
Yeah,
Yes.
of course.
Yeah.
That's why I took the decision to move to another club. In that sense, Villarreal, that they give me everything to be a professional. And I never regret them.
No.
I'm not that kind of a person. That's why I decided to come, because I thought it was the best decision to me in terms of football, not any other reason. But yeah.
What was it like at Villarreal? Because it's an amazing club.
Great.
It's a tiny little town, isn't it? Tiny,
Yeah,
tiny
Villarreal
football.
is in terms of a club is the youth and the academy is the basis of their quality and the structure, and they always go in that direction. And before I went there, I always enjoy watching Villarreal. You remember the semi-finals against Arsenal. They good players. They play in Villarreal, but always through the academy. And for me, that made me the decision to go there, because they bet on these players, you know.
And then you went back to Atletico Madrid with Simeone. Tell us what Simeone is like, because he comes across as this kind of scary individual.
Well, it looks like. To be fair, I never expect to come back, and when the opportunity came, I was like,
it cost them 20 million.
Yeah.
Didn't
the
it?
decision.
It cost them 20 million. That decision to let you go as a
The
kid.
decision. Yeah, it's true. It's
Yeah.
true. In that age, what my teammates done is go to the first club that goes to you. Oh, let's go to Madrid, Barcelona, and you have to look who is playing in that position, and you need to have a space. I cannot go to play with Barcelona with Busquets in his prime, me with 18 years old or 19 years old, and now I'm gonna play. So part of a good football career is to make good choices, and I think I did a very good choice to go to Atletico. It was a space for me in that moment. I could grow by the hand of Simeone. But yeah, I think what it shows, it's him. It's not fake. It's I remember the first week I was there. I was like, okay, so what's the deal? How it's gonna? Well, the first week is no ball. You're not gonna use the football.
Spanish.
Yeah, I was like, really? Yeah. No, the first week was running.
The pre-season though, wasn't it? I presume not halfway through the season at that point. Yeah, was he hard to work for? Was he?
Yeah, they have this Argentinian different mentality, old school, and but I grow a lot with him. I think he give me that side of my game in terms of competitivity, mentality, defensively, always wanting to win. This spirit that we see, for example, in Argentinian and South American teams, with passion, and he gave me that, because I was a player good looking. Good looking.
You're very handsome.
Yeah, good looking with the ball. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, good
But
looking without the ball.
not
but
let's say not nasty, not ugly.
Yeah.
And
not Simeone-like. player.
Exactly.
No.
And he showed me that. I think it's important part of the game. To be a holding midfielder, you have to be that role also. You know.
You have to stop the counter-attack sometimes in ways without the ball.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
enjoy that.
Yes.
Because normally, if you ask a player, do you enjoy stealing the ball?
Yeah.
No, I didn't. But I learned to finish a game and say, today I recovered 15 balls. And I feel proud,
Yeah, but you're scoring more goals now, aren't you, in this system?
Yeah. Something that we were telling about improving, and this is something I improved a lot the last years. And it's something you have to take mind of, be aware that you can do it, and force you to do it, and playing in a team that sometimes I'm the number 10, in the frontal area, that's so deep. You have to take that role,
What's it like playing against teams? I mean, City, we've watched so many games. We've analysed so many football matches where Manchester City, playing away or often at home, just have to play against this incredibly low block where the whole team does it get a bit frustrating at times?
Yeah.
I mean, it gets a little bit frustrating for us watching because it's not a spectacle.
Yeah.
And this season, I've noticed teams are actually trying to have a go again, like Manchester City, be a bit more positive. Yeah. And it's paid off in some ways because they've hit them on the counter-attack, admittedly without you in the side, which has made a big difference. But it must be a little bit dull sometimes playing.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, you have to adapt. I mean, it's the decisions of the opponents. They decide to defend that deep. Then you have to do what you have to do to win the game. I agree with you that sometimes it's not enjoyable to watch. It happened to me, when I watched the game. I was like, again and again and again. Like how do you call in the cars, the thing that cleans?
The window screen.
Oh, yeah,
window
the-
screen.
Yeah, exactly. That thing, but it's what you have to do. They have that way of defending, and once you realize that maybe every 5 games you play 4 games in that way, then you start training to face these opponents, and you work even though the spaces are minor and you have to commit even more. And the centre backs right now, they are like number 8s, and myself, I'm a number 10, and Erling is the keeper of the opponent.
He's definitely a 9.
Yeah.
Can I ask you what's your favourite moment in a Man City
Well,
match?
If it's not scoring the goal in the
I was
Champions
going
League
to get to
final,
that, but I mean, you seem so selfless, and you always, when I listen to interviews, and you're always talking about the team, and you always sort of put yourself to the side and talk about other people, but surely the Champions League final.
yeah, I mean, in terms of iconic moments, yes, but I live a lot of moments that they were key, and maybe they don't appear on the media or in the flash, in the highlights. The bad moments, for example, all the moments that we feel weak and we change the run. In one game, I remember, for example, in Anfield, the one I saved with in the line with Fabinho, and I remember there was the last minute. If they scored that goal, they were 8 points ahead, and maybe it would change the history. And these moments, for me, they are important also. Many of them. And bad moments also, like the semi-finals of Real Madrid. Most
Should have won.
Yeah, but lots of moments, good and bad, that makes my story here at City, big.
How important was it though, for Manchester City and for yourself and for Pep Guardiola to win a Champions League, because it was starting to become a thing, wasn't it?
Yeah. But I said always the same. I mean. To win, first you have to lose, and we have the experience of the Chelsea final. Yeah,
Your record's ridiculous.
Yeah. But it was, to be fair, much than we expect. Many bad moments too. I remember my first year with that game against Lyon. The next year with Chelsea, Real Madrid semi-finals, and finally against Inter, we could do it. But once you win it, you realize how tough it is to do it, and this is the good point about life, and to stand up again and to try it again. And last season we were there also, and we were by penalties, but we have the hunger to go again. This is and now that Pep is decide to stay 2 more years, I mean, it makes the project even
I was going to
more.
ask you, tell us about Pep Guardiola. Where does his drive from his... I mean, obviously he's very cerebral, he's very intelligent, but clearly he's a brilliant coach. But he's also got a real drive, hasn't he? An ambition to keep going.
Yeah, I mean,
keep winning.
Yeah.
Where does that come from, do you think?
I think it's natural. I think you don't spend, let's say, 9 years in another country if you won everything that Pep has won. Not many, He has this desire to individual of doing it even better, to be better every day, and to make Man City even better. And he wants a lot. He don't need this, but he's still wanting this. He's still translating this to us, and that's why I'm happy. Not because Pep is coaching because he's now the best. It's because he has this hunger to go again, and he wants it to let's do this again. Yeah.
Roll up the sleeves. What does he do to make? Because he definitely improves players. There's unquestionably, because you can see that when you watch football, and I've watched a lot of football, you can see managers that improve the team, but not necessarily individuals. He improves the team and he improves individuals. How does he do it? How does he go about it?
I don't know. I'm not a coach.
No, but he's coached you. How has he improved you then? Let's say.
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, in terms of he grabs you, he goes into your how you say his room, and he starts. You have to go this way, and with the tactics, and with and always there with the sessions, and I don't know. He's demanding. I think the word is demanding. He demands you, and when he demands you, I think no person in this world don't improve. It's very strange if someone doesn't push you every day.
Yeah.
You don't, grow. And he's this demanding. Many other, for example, Simeone is the same. He demands you, but maybe not in the fact of all the sense that Pep has, but he's an unbelievable worker. Yeah.
Do you think he's the best?
Yeah, of course. What can I say?
You've got to say that.
What I've lived, yes. Also the titles and everything talks by themselves. And not also that. He tried Spain, he tried Germany, he tried England, and he's been influential everywhere.
You mentioned Spain there briefly in that sentence, which made me think about last summer. Did you expect that to happen? Because you weren't one of the favourites to win the tournament going into it. You'd had kind of one or two iffy results prior to the tournament.
No, we weren't. We weren't the favourites. But in ourselves, we believe in us. And to be fair, once you start a tournament, you start seeing the opponent. So let's see England, let's see France, let's see Germany, how they're doing. I didn't show them like they are like, wow, we cannot handle with this.
England definitely weren't well for the early part of the tournament, but they got to the final.
Let's say the favourites. And we were looking at ourselves, the way we were performing, and we didn't have the experience of winning, but we were performing in the way to win. And this make us to be confident to go again. And I don't remember a tournament a team face all the teams we face. We face champions of World Cups, Croatia in the first round, Italy, and then Georgia was a tough game, and then Germany in the home, France and England. Like everyone, you know.
Beat a lot.
And I think it was the first time to win every single game also in a tournament.
Yep.
So I think it talks about how we grow into the tournament.
Take us to the final. You get injured.
Yeah.
That must have been really hard, because it gets forgotten a little bit because you went on to win. Obviously, that's the most important thing. But to suddenly miss out on that second half. I mean, to be honest, as England fans, we were all going, there's no Rodri in the second half.
We've got a chance.
There's no Rodri. We've got a chance. And that's how it felt to us. But how was it for you? It must have been a real mix of emotions.
And between the players also. I remember, I got injured. Phil was marking me all the game. And once it was at the end of the first half, and then when I went into the tunnel, I know I was injured, I know I have to be substitute, but I was hearing at them a little bit. They were kind of, this guy was out, I hear them because the changing room was first than us, so and they were like, come on, I hear a little bit. And in that moment I felt maybe this is one of the things that makes the balance in the finals,
it does.
And I was sad in that moment. But then again to the changing room and the way the team went out, Simeone, the way he performed that game, and we were champion because of that, And
you deserve. As English people, you deserve to win not only the final but the tournament, because Spain played so well. And you played a football that was refreshing and good to watch.
And everyone, what I would say, a tournament, every player won it, and we have a good structure, and it shows. The winner goal, it wasn't a player that played. That second half, many other players like Simeone was important, and he wasn't important in the tournament. So this is the key for me, in my opinion.
Can I ask you about Lamine Yamal?
Yeah.
How good is he?
Lamine.
Oh,
unbelievable. Yeah, he's unbelievable. But he started the Euros with 16. 16, I was in the...
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I was in the academy of Atletico, so imagine.
About to be told you're not physically strong enough.
Exactly, that age. And he was playing a final of the Euros and scoring semi-finals, that goal. That is like, I'm going to put my country in the shoulders, It's not like a simple goal.
No.
I'm putting the ball in the corner, in the moment you have to put it. And this is select people, And he is... I'm in charge. He's going in the right way because he's very young. But he has talent for everything.
What does he need to realise the potential? What does he have to do? Because he's a young man, and young men, we all know, can sometimes go off the rails. But he's such a special talent, isn't he? I hopefully have people like you around him. Yeah. Because that's important to get professionals. And
it's important. It's important. And... we are in charge on that. Of course, he's still, let's see where he can get. But he's this kind of player that he's mature on the pitch already. For me, people analyze that he can score with the left foot, he dribbles this way and that way, but I don't see that stuff. I see, is he doing the right pass when he has to do it? Is he when he has to defend? Is he know what he has to? Is he in the moments of the pressure knows what to do and dribble 2-3 players when they give the ball and the responsibility? Yes, that's
and that's extraordinary at that age, isn't he? He's now 17. I mean,
yeah, for me that's the most iconic thing of him. You know, at that age, have that mature.
So let's hope you're back fit towards the end of the season. I'd love to know if you fancied going into coaching at the end, because you know that's what pivots do.
Yeah. At the minute, I'd say no.
Really?
Yeah, at the minute, I'd say no. I think I see Pep, I see coaches. They have the same life we have in terms of travels. A lot of times and I don't know if I want that for my next period of life. At the minute, no. I always said I see Chiqui's faces and I like it more. He looks more clean and relaxed.
Chiqui Begiristain.
Yeah, Chiquiristain.
Director of football. Who's I played with.
You played with
him
in
Barcelona. Yeah, he was a great guy. I kind of like to ask these. You've been very generous with your time. I like to ask these questions. I've seen you actually talk about it recently in Spanish though, for our English-speaking listeners. Greatest player of all time.
Can you ask that in Spanish though?
Yeah.
Typically, you can ask that.
Right.
Do you want me to?
Well, I mean,
if you want me to.
I want you to see you showing off. Come on.
¿Quién es el mejor jugador de todos los tiempos?
Bien, bien. Yeah,
Is that good?
9 out of 10.
9.
Nine
Just
out of 10.
lost slightly.
What?
¿Quién es el mejor jugador de todos los tiempos?
Yeah.
I said before, Messi, no doubts.
I saw you like in Spanish, but
no doubts.
What lifts him apart from all the others?
The talent and the understanding of the game. I said it yesterday in El Hormiguero, in a famous TV program in Spain. I think the difference between Leo and the others is he is the best everywhere. He could be the best defender, he could be the best header, he could be, and because he is smart, he's the most smart one. One day my father said the best players are the most intelligent ones. And I think Leo is the most intelligent player ever. Apart from that,
football-wise, you mean?
Yeah.
This is a football intelligence, not necessarily
football. No, in life,
or,
in football intelligence. When he had the ball in the feet, and that's why he's the best everywhere. And Cristiano, for example, is an unbelievable talent. For me, they're the best players ever because the consistency that for me is so important. Longevity. For me, they are the two best. He had been able to be with him in terms of stats, numbers, without
goal scoring wise.
Yeah, goal scoring. Without the, let's say, understand me, the pure talent of Leo. So it's even more credit to Cristiano, even more credit. But when you face them, it's different. It's different. When Leo receives the ball, you are like, something's gonna happen. You are in like this, something's
Panic
gonna happen.
Mode.
Yeah.
Who do you find it most difficult playing against?
In my career, Leo first.
Leo,
I faced him. And
what about in the Premier League?
In the Prem, I think that my first year was the worst because we faced that Liverpool that was unbelievable. I would say it would be the best team I want to face in my career.
Yeah.
That Liverpool. But in that prime Salah, I haven't seen any player that way. With that, he was like a knife. Not that skillful like many, like let's say Neymar's or Vini's or these kind of players, but knife, scoring, assisting.
They're the best games, those ones, you think, though, that period with Man City and Liverpool going head to head.
And we have that rivalry. I remember my first year was a bit not like it. Now it became a bit more down, but in that moment was the atmosphere was out. They have, I remember they beat us 3-1, 4-1, and we beat him 4-0 here. So it was like a 50-50.
It was. Who's the best player you played with at Manchester City?
Well, I think...
it's a bit of an unfair question.
Question.
Because the rest of them are going to be upset, but you can name one.
Yeah, I could.
Or two if you want.
I can.
Yeah.
I think Kevin.
Yeah, De Bruyne.
Kevin.
Yeah,
Kevin, David. I would say David because he's my friend also, but he's unbelievable for me. Sometimes in Spain he hasn't the credit that he has in England, But I think Kevin will be, for me, let's say top 3 best players in the history of the league.
One of his big regrets, though, is that he didn't have the chance to play with you, Mike.
Imagine them passes for me running on. Oh,
You could make Kyle's runs. That pass to him.
I'm a better crosser than Kyle.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. I think you'll be like Kyle because I talked to him many times because the only player that made me this run was Riyad when he was here.
Yeah.
Riyad. I have a good feeling with him, but once he went out,
he had a decent first touch as well.
Unbelievable. I start with Kyle. Kyle, come here. You are going to be the man who, you have the power, the strength. You have to be there. So you will be that player. In that one.
I'll take that.
Yeah,
that's a compliment. That's a great way to finish.
I can do that role for you anytime.
I think we should finish there. Rodri, thank you so much.
Thank you guys
for your time and so many congratulations for winning Ballon d'Or and get fit soon. We want to see you back on the pitch.
I hope.
Because you're the best.
Now it's my target to come back.
Incredible.
Gracias por todo.
Thank you guys.
Un gran placer.
Top.
Thank you. That was brilliant. I appreciate that.
Unbelievable. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.